Good afternoon, I'm Herman Green with the Midday News. A special welcome to those of you watching on onespotmedia.com. A reminder as well that you can download our One Spot Media app from the Google Play Store or from the App Store. That's the number 1, followed by the word Spot Media. The police are reporting a significant decrease in illegal activities across several parishes since they have dismantled the Uchense gang. The gang is reportedly led by 27-year-old Uchense Wilson, otherwise called Terrence. So far, 25 people have been arrested, including a detective corporal.
And there was a significant reduction. I think it's over 50% reduction in robberies in those areas in which they operated. So there is an impact, really. This is just one of the many criminal organizations that are actually operating in Jamaica. And I am confident that with the support of the people of Jamaica, and we have the result within CTOC, that many more organizations will be brought down. We are confident that we have identified every member of this gang. There are some that are outstanding, and we will get them.
Head of the Counter-Terrorism and Organized Crime Investigative Branch, CTOC, Assistant Commissioner of Police Fitz Bailey, also commented on the resources for the department.
Management is about using the resources that are available effectively and efficiently. I must say that yes, there are shortage of resources, but we have to just use what we have efficiently and effectively, and that's what we intend to do until additional resources are made available.
ACP Bailey adds that 3 senior prosecutors have been assigned to lead the case against the Uchense gang, which has illegally acquired items valued at about $400 million. The heavily organized gang has been operating since 2016 across 7 parishes, committing murders, shootings, robberies, and rape. 6 persons were arrested during a recent 2-day operation by the Praedial Larceny Prevention Unit in St. James. The police say 15 bags of oranges were seized during the joint operation under the Agricultural Produce Act, which stipulates that persons in possession of agricultural produce must have a receipt to show its origin. The 6 were taken into custody for failing to produce receipts and under the Public Health Food Handlers Regulation Act for failing to produce food handlers permits. Meanwhile, the unit says it has made over 130 arrests for Praedial larceny between January and November this year. This is more than the previous 2 years' arrests. 32 stolen animals were also recovered over the period and 8,200 pounds of uncertified meat destroyed. They say there is also a 14% reduction in incidents of Praedial larceny. It's believed that the increase in arrests and recoveries come as a result of more farm visits by the Praedial Larceny Prevention Unit and the police. Now, leading into the holiday season, the unit is also reminding butchers to report their intention to slaughter farm animals to the nearest police station no less than 12 hours before the time of slaughter. They warn that failing to do so will result in prosecution under the Livestock Control Order. The Freeport police lockup in St. James has been recommissioned. Speaking at a press conference recently, head of the Area 1 Police Division, Assistant Commissioner of Police Donovan Graham, provided an update.
We are now able to, again, accommodate prisoners in this lockup. This will go a far way in alleviating the crowded cells at the other locations within St. James and the other parishes within Area 1 who had to be keeping these prisoners because of the lack of space at Freeport.
He says the reopening of the lockup will also have significant impact on some court cases, as prisoners will be able to reach court on time. The Freeport lockup was ordered closed by the public health authorities in St. James in January of this year. This was due to unhygienic conditions, which include a major infestation of lice and bedbugs. The Narcotics Division of the Jamaica Constabulary Force scored a major victory yesterday when a man they had arrested was convicted under the Dangerous Drugs Act. The man was jailed for the possession of illegal drugs valued at over $1 million. The man who has been identified as 36-year-old Michael Abrahams of Caribbean Estate in St. Catherine. Mr. Abrahams was convicted in the St. Catherine Parish Court on Monday. Reports are that in July, the lawmen conducted several anti-narcotics operations at his home in Caribbean Estate. A search was conducted and the cops seized 3 large traveling bags and 1 suitcase with 70 parcels containing cocaine weighing 77.5 kilograms, valued at $307,000 or 92.8 million Jamaican dollars. Approximately $1,400 and 40,000 Jamaican dollars in cash were also seized. Mr. Abrahams was later charged with the possession of cocaine, dealing in cocaine, using premises for the storage of cocaine, as well as conspiracy and possession of criminal property. He pleaded guilty on Monday to the offenses of possession of cocaine and dealing in cocaine. He will be sentenced in the St. Catherine Parish Court on Friday, December 22. The People's National Party says it's standing with the nation's teachers as they seek improved wages from the government. The opposition, in a press release yesterday, stated that reports emanating from the negotiation with the nation's teachers are that the government has been arrogant, disrespectful, and provocative. The release further noted that, to date, the Andrew Holness government has demonstrated a tendency to waste millions of dollars, listing the $800 million debushing program as well as the $8.3 million telephone bill. It also jabbed at what it called a cash giveaway in Southeast St. Mary and roadwork projects that cannot be identified, while teachers, nurses, and other civil servants are asked to work long hours with little hope of just rewards. The opposition notes that the nation's teachers and public servants continue to serve despite low wages and rising inflation. It stated that the 3% increase being offered by the government indicates a lack of understanding of the situation at best and blatant disrespect for these public servants at worst. The opposition says based on rising inflation, the 3% wage offer would put the teachers and others in worse off position than they were last year. They also suggest that it's a grab back of the 1.5 tax break that some may have received. Security concerns are being raised by residents of some communities in Portland as they say malfunctioning streetlights are giving rise to criminal activities. They say they are frustrated as despite making several reports, the issue has remained unresolved for several years. TVJ Shamela Mitchell has that report.
New Road and Rice Peace Road are just a few of the many communities in Portland that are being affected by limited street lights in the parish. So bad is the situation that one resident, Clifton Cousins, says the issue had to be raised at a Portland development meeting recently.
Just the other day we have a couple people get robbed up there in Bestwork because the light wasn't working. You have time when the light go like this, dim out till it's finished, you know? So that area live in darkness. Now it gives the thief time to prepare to rob people.
Another resident, Nikisha Gale, says she has a streetlight pole at her gate that stopped working some 2 years ago. Since then, Miss Gale says she has been seeing a number of strange activities in that area.
A gentleman actually like him come home, him just march up in my yard, and when him realized that somebody was on the veranda, then him turn around and come down the gateway and then go on him phone. And after that I don't know what really happens, but oftentimes people will come up in the yard. Sometimes we see them, sometimes we inside and hear foot tracks outside, but we're not going to go outside because you don't know who is out there, what they are capable of doing.
Miss Gale says reports were made to the police, but she's not happy with their response. She thinks the police can do more to protect them.
Oftentimes they are asking you, what I ate, they are asking, do you know the person? No, I don't know the person. If I know the person, I would need to make a report. You understand? Because then at that time you wouldn't think by any chance a person will go hurt you, so you'd ask, so what, Mr. Brown, what, XYZ, but strange person.
Meanwhile, the residents say the matter was reported to the Jamaica Public Service Office in Portland. However, when TVJ News contacted the office, we were directed to the head office in Kingston. The Kingston head office told us it's a matter they're now looking into. Shamela Mitchell, TVJ News.
There's a new twist to the controversy surrounding the procurement of used vehicles for the Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF. Our news center has been informed that the Ministry of Finance is now moving to collect the more than $200 million paid to O'Brien's International Car Sales and Rental for the purchase of used vehicles for the police force. The details from TVJ's O'Shane Masters.
A highly placed source told TVJ News that the arrangement with O'Brien's has virtually collapsed and the government is now seeking to recover its money. But the ministry is awaiting guidance from the Attorney General on how to go about recovering its deposit. It's reported that the Finance Ministry has written to a bank demanding the $42 million bond put up by O'Brien's International. The government is also considering going after the company's assets, as it is said to be struggling to fulfill the quota of 200 vehicles. The company has so far delivered 30 vehicles, but is struggling to clear another 66 vehicles now on the wharf. On Monday, National Integrity Action NIA called for the Major Organized Crime and Anti-Corruption Task Force, MOCA, to investigate the non-delivery of police vehicles despite a contract issued to O'Brien's. In a statement, the NIA asserted that government procurement and procedures were compromised either through incompetence or lack of due diligence. In the meantime, the parliamentary opposition says it will be trying to get the motor vehicle saga placed on the agenda of the House of Representatives, which will be meeting today and tomorrow. Chairman of the Public Administration and Appropriations Committee, PAAC, Dr. Wickham McNeil, told our news center that an attempt will be made to get the committee's report on the matter tabled in the House.
Having deliberated with the Ministry of National Security last week, we're in the process now of putting together a report and to try and get that report into Parliament either Tuesday or to get it in for the following day, Wednesday, given that Parliament will be meeting both days this week. Normally we wouldn't move this quickly, but given the severity of what the findings were, we're trying to get the report and see if the members will okay the report at Parliament so that we can table it. Of course, the deliberations or the debate on that motion, on the report, will be determined by the leader of government business.
Dr. McNeil says based on the turn of events, the PAAC will have to delve further into the issuing of the contract for the procurement of the police vehicles.
Subsequent to our deliberation on Wednesday with the Ministry of National Security, at that time, the Permanent Secretary had indicated to us that she had verbally been told to give a moratorium on the taxes and they were to pay the GCT and SCT for the motor vehicles. Now, she had said at that time it was verbal. Subsequently, we have seen some correspondence that indicates that was in fact the instruction from the Minister of Finance and the Public Service. Therefore, that has to be brought to the PAAC again because we would have to see what effect that has on the contract, the existing contract.
O'Shane Masters, TVJ News.
We go down to news in sports as 19-time Olympic and World Championship gold medalist Usain Bolt has described Sunday's unveiling of his statue at the National Stadium as surreal, even as he expressed satisfaction with the honor of joining previous Jamaican track and field icons Arthur Wint, Herb McKinley, Merlene Ottey, and Donald Quarry.
The statue unveiled by Prime Minister Andrew Holness shortly before 8 p.m. on Sunday comes 15 years after Bolt announced himself to the world as a sprint prodigy while winning the 200 meters gold at the 2002 World Junior Championships inside the National Stadium. In the ensuing decade and a half, Bolt has become the most famous sprinter globally, backed by 8 Olympic gold, 11 World Championship gold, along with world records in the 100 meters at 9.58, the 200 at 19.19, and the 4x100 meters relay at 36.84 seconds, shared with Nesta Carter, Michael Frater, and Johan Blake. Bolt says the statue done by Basil Watson makes it all worth it.
The losses, the injuries, everything that I went through, right now it makes it all worth it, you know what I mean? So it's a wonderful feeling to look back and see what your career has brought you, you understand? So I'm very happy and very proud of myself, you know what I mean, for the work, and it's just a good time and I'm in a good place, so I'm happy about that.
Artist Basil Watson was pleased that Bolt and his team approved of the final product.
I met with Usain earlier in the year, and Usain, I felt assured that I could capture him and that the energy was there. So when he was pleased tonight, it was an affirmation of what I expected. I was very pleased. A lot of weight off my shoulder, I must admit.
Bolt was joined by members of Jamaica's sports fraternity, including J3A's president, Dr. Warren Blake, fellow athletes including Asafa Powell, and the president of NACAC, Victor Lopez, who all said the sprint legend was deserving of the statue.
Usain Bolt represents what no other athlete in the world had ever done for the athletics. And he was great in the athletic field, in the track, but he was even better as a person because he entertained the people.
It's just a great feeling being here and just to acknowledge his accomplishments, achievements, and what the country has done for him tonight. It's just great.
Really very good to see that a tribute has been paid to Jamaica's greatest sporting superstar, and it shows that a grateful nation has said thanks to Usain.
Sports Minister Olivia Grange is confident Watson will also do a great job on the other statues being worked on.
And so far, Basil Watson has delivered. He delivered Herb McKinley. He has delivered Usain Bolt. And I have every confidence that he will deliver Shelley Ann Fraser-Price, Veronica Campbell-Brown, and Asafa Powell in fine style.
The unveiling of the statue was followed by a celebratory concert for the athletes and management staff who represented Jamaica at this summer's London World Championships. Reporting for TVJ Sports, I'm Keon Reyna.
And that's the Midday News. I'm Herman Green. Join us at 7 for the Primetime News Package. On behalf of the news, sports and production teams, good afternoon.